Headshot mesmo.
Ah, você disse mais eu tô aqui.
En die blijft rasta man hier, die ijs nog net hier man.
Mais um ônibus. Tem mais 600 mesmo.
Tá chegando, não tem como.
Não tem um lugar de fazer um amigo.
Tinha que sair um taco. Para lá um bocadinho.
Mais um ônibus. Tem mais 600 mesmo.
Tá chegando, não tem como.
Não tem um lugar de fazer um amigo.
Tinha que sair um taco. Para lá um bocadinho.
Geez, the storm. It's not stopping. Geez, look at the water. It's taking the bridge. Everyone, get back. Get back.
This is the sound of a nation under siege, not by an invading army, but by the relentless crushing weight of water. What you are witnessing is the South Africa flood crisis of January 2026, a catastrophe that has turned the country's northeastern heartland into a disaster zone.
Margate coming down to the Grove.
Shelley Centre, stay away. Trolleys are actually floating around in the parking lot.
For weeks, the skies over Limpopo and Mpumalanga have refused to clear, unleashing a deluge that has overwhelmed riverbanks, shattered infrastructure, and declared a war on the foundations of daily life. This isn't just heavy rain. This is a national state of disaster.
Tinha que sair um taco. Para lá um bocadinho.
Akuna nix lento vele le bengiyenzile la. Ibhihleke yonke ehambile lama lezi zinto lezi ngizenzile la azikho. Short noma ngaba lamaplango bengiyenze ngamaplango so ngiyenze ibhomu indawo le yokudensela khona.
The devastation to infrastructure is absolute and terrifying. The roads that connect us, vital arteries like the R578 and the R40, have been severed, crumbled into the brown torrents as if they were made of sand. Bridges that stood for decades, like the Zandsprut, are simply gone, leaving gaping wounds in the landscape and cutting off entire towns from food, fuel, and medical aid. Even the iconic Kruger National Park, usually a sanctuary of nature, became a trap, forcing the emergency evacuation of hundreds of tourists and staff as camps were submerged. The landscape itself has shifted. Mudslides have erased hillsides, and in districts like Mopani and Vembe, homes have been wiped from the face of the earth, leaving nothing but foundations and heartbreak.
Some of the roads infrastructure has been affected, they've been washed away, and we've lost about 2 bridges, and some of the bridges are covered in the water, as you see behind us here. That this is the road that leads you to the north of the park. What is interesting about the animals is they're quite adaptive to this particular environment. So intuition works with animals. They often move to higher ground. So we're not really worried about the animals. However, as the water is moving so fast, some of the animals will move with the water, particularly crocodiles. So we're saying to people that are living in areas that are adjacent to the park, they must be careful.
Market coming down to the grove.
Shelly Center, stay away. Trolleys are actually floating around in the parking lot.
Emergency responders are fighting a battle against the elements that seems impossible to win. The South African National Defence Force and police dive units have been deployed, piloting helicopters through grey, driving rain to pluck stranded families from rooftops and trees. But the challenges are immense. The very roads needed to bring aid are the ones that have been washed away. We've seen rescuers risking their lives in fast-flowing currents, searching desperately for the missing, like 5-year-old Sianda Baloyi, swept away in Limpopo, a name that has become a tragic symbol of this crisis. Every hour the rain continues is an hour that rescue operations are grounded, leaving isolated communities to fend for themselves in the rising damp.
Mud is coming down to the grove.
Shelley Centre, stay away. Trolleys are actually floating around in the parking lot.
The economic and social scars of this event will take years to heal. We are looking at billions of rands in damage. Families who have spent a lifetime building their homes are now standing in the wreckage, holding onto garbage bags of wet clothes, their only remaining possessions.
Tinha que sair um taco. Para dar bocadinho.
The displacement is massive. Community halls are overflowing with shivering residents, and the disruption to farming and tourism threatens the livelihoods of thousands. This is a financial strain that a recovering economy can ill afford. But for the people on the ground, the cost is not measured in currency, but in the loss of security and the trauma of displacement. Yet, amidst the mud and the ruin, the spirit of South Africa endures. We have seen neighbors forming human chains to cross flooded streets, strangers sharing food in evacuation centers, and a resilience that refuses to be washed away.
Tinha que sair um taco. Para dar bocadinho. The water will eventually recede, revealing the full scale of the destruction. But it will also reveal a community ready to rebuild, stone by stone. For now, the rain falls, and the nation holds its breath, praying for the sun to break through the gray.
Hawakan na sa panaw. Hawakan na sa panaw.